All right, we welcome Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell to the dais, and we will be open for questions. I'll start with John here in the front row.
Donovan, this year you get the opportunity to play with an elite point guard in Mike Conley. What do you feel like you can learn from him and being a backcourt partner with him?
I think, the first thing I can really learn from him is just his leadership skills, leadership qualities. I think for him, he's a guy who goes at his own pace. I think that's one of the things I'm really starting to learn. Just figuring out how to slow down a little bit, take my time. And it's not really always about getting in there, and scoring. He's great at finding guys who are open. I think that'll be, a little bit easier for me this year, just being able to find guys and, find big fella. I think Mike has shown in his career that he can do both, hit the corner, hit guys in the corner on the wing, hit guys rolling to the basket. So just being able to take that away and just being around him, he's just the way he goes about his day, whether it's eating right. Like I said, he moves at his own pace. I make fun of him. I said, you've been in Memphis where you're down south, everything's slower. I'm from New York where everything's like, quicker. But, just being able to apply that to my life and my game.
For both of you, can you speak to the benefits of international play during the summer and how that might impact your games this year?
I think we just learn how to win. It's you have a short amount of time, a group of guys. You try to get ready as a team, learn how to play for one another, and then go out there and try to represent the country and win. So I was really happy that Donovan got to do that this year, and I think it's gonna help him on the long run as it did for me.
Yeah, similar along with Rudy. One thing I really wanted to kind of improve on was my defense. And on the defensive end, I think in FIBA, I started to pretty much guard the best perimeter player, for every game. I think that's one thing and Pop really helped me out with that mindset coming in there, and just not taking more pride in it, but having better mechanics, better, not gambling as much. In college I came from where you try and go for steals every second, just keeping a man in front, making your life easier on that end. And also, this time last year, I had just started, playing basketball again because of the injury. So I think that's one thing that's really going to help, kind of being able to have a whole summer where I did get to work and put in a lot of time.
Question on this side from Jeremiah.
Yeah, Donovan, to build on that, last year was a lot different with your rehab and all the things you had going on. This was much different. How did the off season this year compared to last year have an impact on you and your preparation for this season?
Well, honestly, I can go to the gym whenever I wanted to shoot. I think that's one of the things you really miss when you get hurt. And I think just being able to just say, I'm going to go 2 days today, even sometimes 3. Being able to have that mindset coming in. Obviously I started a little bit earlier. I think we both did, starting early just because of FIBA coming that came up. But, I'm just excited to just play basketball. I think that's the biggest thing. I could just feel it. I'm just excited to be healthy at the beginning of the year because I remember how tough last year was, especially for me, just not even during the season, but just kind of getting to this point of getting to a point where you feel just healthy. I think so. I take a lot of I cherish that because it wasn't there, and I think that's what's different between this year and last year.
Rudy, you've had a lot of success in the past as a kind of the only true big man on the floor defensively with smaller lineups. Those might be the majority or maybe even all of your team's lineups this year. Do you feel like that's a bigger challenge for you, a different challenge in some ways where in previous years you've played with Derek and other bigger guys?
I think it's a different challenge. Obviously, I think offensively, the spacing for me as a guy that puts a lot of pressure on the rim is going to make it harder on the defense. They're going to have to make tougher decisions, and the space is going to be way more open for all the guards too. Now defensively, I think we all going to have to do a little more. I'm going to have to do more. We're going to have to rebound. As a team, we're going to have to just be a little tougher defensively, and I think we will.
John in the front row here.
This question's for both of you guys. So the league's obviously becoming a lot more global in terms of who's winning awards, who's winning World Cup competition, things like that.
You don't have to bring that up.
This season, we're going to see a record number of NBA primetime games in Europe, and the Jazz will be in 3 of those games. How important is it for the Jazz to have exposure to these European fans and just kind of that global exposure?
I think it really started with him. You know, you look at him winning Defensive Player of the Year 2 times in a row. You look at how many international guys we have. We had Ricky last year. We have Dante. We have Joe. We have Bojan now. Like, there's so many guys we have that are from Europe, from not from America. I think that's one thing that really helps. You know, for me, I'm getting a taste of it just from playing in the FIBA, and then even going in China for my shoe tour. I think you just understand the passion and the love for the game, and you know, I gained a lot of respect. You know, for guys who didn't grow up in America, because all you know is one thing. You know, and Rudy's talked to me so much just about how much he's cherished basketball and how much they cherish basketball in Europe and China and in Australia. I think that's one thing that's really opening, or at least my eyes, and I think this game and the NBA has done a great job of being able to put teams on that platform, and I think we can only do more. I think 3 is a great start, but I say why not more? And I think, like you said, playing in these games and going on these trips, I think really helped.
You want to answer that too?
I agree. You know, I think you know, growing up in Europe, you know, it's not easy for us to watch games. I probably watched my first NBA game when I was 15 or 16. You know, so you know, you just learn the game and love the game because you love the game, and then you find out that there's you know, ways to watch games, watch more games. The NBA has done a great job over the last few years, you know, at improving that.